The Fugitive Slave Law, or Fugitive Slave Act, was passed by the United States Congress on September 18, 1850. This law declared that all people who had escaped from slavery must be returned to their owners. If people in the North, where slavery was not legal, hid or helped an escaped slave, they were breaking the law of the land. Law enforcement officials everywhere, even in the free states, now had a duty to arrest anyone suspected of being a runaway slave. Very little evidence was needed, just the owner's testimony of ownership. The suspected slave could not ask for a jury trial or testify on his or her own behalf. In addition, any person aiding a runaway slave by providing food or shelter was subject to 6 months imprisonment and a $1,000 fine. Officers who captured a fugitive slave were entitled to a bonus or promotion for their work. Since any suspected slave was not eligible for a trial, this led to many free African Americans being conscripted into slavery as they had no rights in court and could not defend themselves against accusations. Southerners supported this law because it meant they could protect what they saw as their property. Like any other item they own, stolen slaves were rightfully theirs and should be returned. Southerners had the right to have their slaves returned protected under Article 4 in the United States Constitution and enforced it through the Fugitive Slave Act. Not to enforce this law would take away Southerners' constitutional rights. Besides, argued some in the South, slaves do not really need to be free, since not all slaveholders are bad. They felt slaves had no right to run away. Southerners demanded the Fugitive Slave Act be enforced, or otherwise they would leave the Union. Northerners actively protested the Fugitive Slave Act because they saw slavery as wrong, which is why it had been outlawed in the North in the first place. Northerners actively protested the enforcement of the Fugitive Slave Act. They believed that slaves who escaped to freedom in the North should be able to keep that freedom. They should not be captured and sent back to the South. The Fugitive Slave Act required Northerners to support a system that they detested.